the demonization of hard work is a very dangerous fine line. Mental health issues that you get from overworking or caring only about money is a tremendous topic.
Yeah.
And it's exactly right. But demonizing work ethic as not one of the required things to build something meaningful is laughable and delusional.
Yeah.
And then you probably know this, there's an enormous amount of your listeners right now who just love the work. Like when you love your work, it's play. So finding the balance. But I think the thing that I see in people that tear down buildings is they're unhappy with themselves. Thus, they're just trying to make everybody else. Misery loves company. Or they just don't know. They know that they don't have the talent to just build on their own merit. And they know that they can bully or tear down or out-politicize people. Like when I say out-politicize, I don't mean politics. I mean in business world. For example, some people will say, well, if you work with that other person, you're not going to work with me. And they know that you're giving them more business. And that's because they're worried about this upstart gal in town doing a thing. Like, and so like, I think that's horrible. I don't want to lose to my competitors, but I respect my competitors in my businesses if they're able to accomplish in our game. And I admire it and I cheer for it. And I also don't think that anyone is taking away from me. I don't think anyone's success is taking happiness out of my pocket, money out of my pocket, growth out of my pocket. The world is abundant. There's enough for everyone at scale. And I just think that way too many people are insecure out there, and it's manifesting in poor behavior, which is really unfortunate because they might be tricking a lot of people, but they're not tricking the 2% that are most emotionally intelligent on earth. So when I see people that seemingly look like they're doing well and they're winning, I feel bad for them.
Fake it till you make it mentality.
Pass. Let me double click on that. There's a lot of value in it, but I think it's misunderstood. When you're faking it till you make it, there's a level of manipulation going on. Let me wear the suit. Let me make up there's a lot of lying that comes along with it. So I think fake it till you make it would be a little bit different. Have conviction that you're gonna make it and act as if.
I like that.
Very different than fake it till you make it, which comes with a lot of baggage of like sleazy behavior that actually can become very dangerous because you become used to it. And then when you make it, some of those things that got you there with the faking it actually become your scarlet letter and your vulnerability of losing it. So fake it till you make it may lead to you losing it, but have conviction that you're going to make it and act as if becomes a healthier version of it. Actually, the biggest companies in the world understand the value of brand probably more than influencers and creators. They don't understand where brand is being built. They think commercials and billboards and print ads and banner ads on websites and pre-roll intrusion ads on digital and dorky posts on social is building brand. And my point is perfect social or best social or strategic social is where brand is being built. And I think to your point, a lot of people in this community of creators and influencers, they're so transactional. Like everything is to selfish needs. How many followers can I get? How many likes am I getting? How much money can I get from this brand deal? And so it's very sales oriented. The reality is both matter. Like if you've built unlimited brand, but you don't know how to close that equity into a sale, well, you're going to go out of business. But if you're just a salesperson and you're not building brand, they're going to move on to the next creator, to the next person, to the next brand. And so, they both matter a lot, but I think that sales is just people that aren't great at brand. And what I mean by that is, when I look at the best personality businesses, Ryan Reynolds doesn't sell. He's a brand, and you just like, I just wanted Mint Mobile. I'm like, I've been on Verizon 100 years. I'm like, I want my when Kevin Hart makes a funny video, and he's got his tequila in it, I just want to support him. He's not sending me an email saying buy a case of my tequila. And so I think when you build brand, it's special.
You recently shared an analogy, or I think it was either in your book or one of your podcast episodes, but it was an analogy of building a bigger building versus tearing other buildings down. Can you share that just for our listeners?
Did you like this one?
Yes.
I'm obsessed with this one. This has been one that I've been with since I was a teenager. It's a very old adage, which is there's 2 ways to build the biggest building in town. 1, build the biggest building in town. You are just that talented, you are just that capable, you've put in that work. 2, tear down everybody else's building, and then thus your building seems bigger, even though it might not be that big. I believe that we have now gone into the phase in our society of tearing everyone's building down. The amount of finger pointing, the amount of judgment, and so people have no capacity for respecting other people's opinions or thoughts or success. I am thrilled when other entrepreneurs are doing their thing. I just brought up 2 of them in this analogy. 2 actors who I think are real. When I think about The Rock or Ryan Reynolds or Kevin Hart or Reese Witherspoon or Jessica Alba, these are people who have transitioned from fame to operating entrepreneurs, building humongous things. To me, I have great joy in watching other people win. The simple answer here is very simply that you need to work harder and faster. There's really nothing else. I mean, I'm exhausted every day, but I'm making enormous amounts of things happen in my 18 hours, right? Not only am I working 18 hours, but I'm working fast as hell in those 18 hours, and I'm prioritizing what's important and what's not. And so, I guess the answer to your question is, we're all different. I mean, if you need to be A-type and rigor and organized, I would just schedule non-negotiable time for your personal brand if that's important to you from 6 to 7 p.m. because you have that whole day to kind of check the box that you want to, and you just got that time. It's just allocated. Maybe that time is at 10 to midnight. But really, there's no magic answer here. The answer is more time and faster within that time. I think the faster part confuses a lot of people, right? I always talk about stop watching Lost, sleep less, but there's another variable. Be much faster in the hours that you're actually in. These guys can tell you, there is not a second that's down. I love when people are I work 10 hours a day, and then when I audit them, there was 15 minutes here where they watched our YouTube video. Just ludicrous, every second. We fight for minutes here. We fight for seconds here. I wish there was other cameras showing you how hard the bobbleheads are on the crew here. Every minute. And so my gut is, because when I thought I was the biggest workaholic that ever lived from 22 to 30 in running Wine Library, but I had enough time to bullshit about baseball with Brandon for 9 minutes, or talk to my dad about something for 15 that made no sense and didn't matter, or went to ESPN.com to just check Jet score. I had time. I'm dramatically faster at 39 than I was at 29, and I'm working more hours. That's how it's happening. I know the answer, I lived it. I am making fun of 29-year-old Garyvee for all the spewing that I do. That dude wasn't as fast and didn't go for as long every day, and that's just how I've done it.